Hello dear tea friends from around the world. Welcome to a new tea class with me, Stéphane Nerler, your favorite tea master from the Tea Masters blog and the tea-masters.com tea boutique. Welcome to 2025. It's a new year. I wish you health and happiness, tea happiness of course, and for this purpose I have on my website currently rebates of 20 and 25% on lots of teas and accessories, just as a little gesture for the new year, and so that everybody can enjoy the good taste of excellent quality teas from Taiwan and from Yunnan. And today we are continuing on our class of tea samples from Taiwan, our exploration of Taiwan Oolongs, and we are going to do a study, comparative study of a Dongding competition Oolong and a Yonglong from the Dongding area, charcoal roasted Oolong. And we'll see what the differences are. These two teas were harvested during the spring of 2024, and so both are from the same season, from the same year, but already we can see that there is a difference in color. The competition Dongding is much darker than the charcoal roasted Yonglong Oolong. So we are going to dive into this. Before that, a few more announcements. The next few weeks, almost the next months actually, I will be away for several reasons. The major one being that I will go back to France on the 19th of January and then spend the Chinese New Year over there. So actually the rebates only go until the 19th, so hurry up to enjoy them, because after that I will be away for 2-3 weeks and a bit less able to do shipping, but still it's possible until the 19th. And so my videos of tea classes will be interrupted after this one for roughly a month, and we'll start again in February with a new set of tea classes. So I wanted to finish this session with these two teas. That's our last two teas on the program. We could of course go much more into detail for each of those. If you are really more interested into competition Dongding, I think I must have made a class about specifically competition Dongding, so you can refer to this one. And for this Yonglong Dongding, it's going to be included again in my next set of classes. I will come up with a new set of Dongding Oolongs, this time specifically from centered around roasted oolongs. So this one will be part of it, along with the concubine from the summer, with the hongshui, the charcoal roasted from the winter, which is a little bit more roasted than this one, and also a fall and autumn hongshui oolong that is going to be quite interesting to study and compare with the Dongding competition. So let me first start by preheating my Gaiwan, and we'll dive into this lesson. Hello Terry, happy 2025. Hello Tal. Thanks for joining our class live, and you are welcome to ask your questions about this class as we go along. I will answer them at the end of the class. But first, Dongding Oolong. What are we talking about? The name is very famous. This fame started in 1976, very precisely, with the establishment of a Dongding competition. And who helped establish this competition? It's Dr. Wu Zhenduo, who we know as the creator of the Jinxuan and Cui cultivars. He's also behind the establishment of this competition in Dongding for a couple of reasons. The first reason was to help farmers sell their tea better, and when the teas are judged and when they go through a competition, usually the top prizes, the top oolongs from the competition are sold at higher premium compared to what farmers usually can sell their teas for. So this is already a help for the farmers. And his other goal was to establish a standard, to create a style that would be very close to the style of Wu Yensha. Why Wu Yensha? Actually, because for a simple reason, Dr. Wu Zhendo came from Wu. He was student in Wu Shan before the Second World War, and came along with Chiang Kai-shek and millions of others Chinese after the Second World War to escape the communists who were taking over mainland China. And he missed Wu teas. For him, being in Taiwan was to be away from his home in Fujian, and he wanted to taste again these teas from his youth. At that time, there was no trade link between Taiwan and the mainland. It was actually even forbidden to import things from China. Things that were made in China that would come to Taiwan, they would, on porcelain, they would cover with red ink over the made in China, so that you don't see it's made in China, fooling nobody, but it was a symbolic gesture. So for a long time, there was no tea from Wu that was sold in China, in Taiwan. And Dr. Wu Zhendo, he really wanted to, he was longing for these teas. So when he established the standard for this competition, he made it very similar to the oxidation level and the roasting level that he knew best in Wu. That's why this is one of the reasons why these two are linked in spirit and taste also so good. Now the Dongding competition first started only in the spring, then later there were 2 sessions, spring and winter. It became so popular that lots of different counties would start to make their own competition about Oriental Beauty, about Baozhong, High Mountain Oolong. So almost every county nowadays has its own tea competition, but the Dongding competition remains the biggest competition in Taiwan, with over 5,000 lots that are presented at every session. Half of them are rejected after the first round of tasting, so it's pretty selective. And what is also interesting is they give points on the aspect, how the tea looks like. That's why the teas for the competition have very few stems. They are very similar in color and also very often in size. So this is really the case. When we look at the charcoal roasted, we see more stems and we see a bigger variation in colors. Also the colors are lighter. So this is not a tea that would be maybe it wouldn't even make the cut in the competition, because it does not look as nice, as harmonious, as even as competition oolong. Now, things have changed since 1976. The major change is the rise of high mountain oolongs, that as mentioned, and this also had an impact on the Dongding competition. the best teas now with the best management come from the high mountains, because these are also the plantations where the tea can fetch the highest price. So the taste of the judges has a little bit evolved, and they're looking more and more for the finer, lighter qualities, lighter aromas, and strong aftertaste of the high mountain leaves. So high mountain leaves are used nowadays in the Dongding competition. It's so popular that farmers from all over Taiwan participate in this competition, even from Alishan, from Shanlinshi, and sometimes even outside of Taiwan. But then if the judges make a good job, they will reject those that don't have this Taiwanese taste, this particular sweet taste that Taiwanese oolongs have. But whereas in 76 until maybe 1990, the Dongding competition winners would always come from the Dongding area, nowadays the winners come from high mountains. Here this one comes from Shaninshi actually. So the leaves are, even though they are called Dongding competition, actually they are not coming from the Dongding area anymore, but they were judged in the Dongding area. And actually they were roasted very nearby. Here this one from in Jushan. So this is one of these little details that make sometimes the names sometimes a bit confusing. This one, on the other hand, is not a Dongding competition, but it is really from the Dongding area. It gives us a better idea what is this very traditional, original taste, authentic taste of Dongding. So now our Gai ones are well heated. We are able to brew. I've taken 3 grams. We are going to brew like during the Dongding competition. 3 grams. They do for 6 minutes actually. This one should be roughly 3 grams also. I did not use the weight for this one, but for that. Here we go. Now, what has not changed between 76 and nowadays is the cultivar. For the best quality of Dongding oolongs and Dongding competition oolongs, the cultivar is always Qingxing oolong. This is the most suitable cultivar in the Dongding area to create Dongding taste, but also for the competition, because in the high mountains it's really the Qingxing oolong that is the dominant cultivar. It's the leaves are smaller than Jinxuan or Cueyu, and therefore they are more concentrate in aromas. But actually this is not a written rule, it's more a traditional rule that it's like this. In theory you can also use Jinxuan or Cueyu or other cultivars to roast them into Dongding oolong, a bit like Baozhong. We saw a couple of weeks ago that Baozhong tea is not about the cultivar, more about the process. Dongding oolong, there is no written rule that it has to be Qingxing oolong for the best teas it is, but actually you could make it with any other cultivar. Just Qingxing is the most dominant in this area. Okay. So we saw that the competition happens in spring and winter. These are the two seasons where this style of tea is done. You can, in the summer, you will find much more concubine type of oolong. However, in the fall, you also have a Hong Shui style, just there is no competition at that time, but there is a lot of Hong Shui roasted oolong also made in the fall, and I will include such a sample in my next sampler that we are going to study. This is going to be interesting to study the difference between this fall, winter and spring Hong Shui oolong, and also compare it to the summer, because really there is a big impact from the season on the tea. The other very interesting thing about Dongding Oolong, like Yen Cha we mentioned, is the roasting. Oolong is really the family where roasting also happens. We don't find any roasting in white teas, in green teas, in red teas, or in pu'er. However, oolongs are defined not just by the oxidation level, but also by the roasting level. And with these two teas, we have two very different roasting levels. So this is going to be interesting to see how the roasting impacts the taste and the aromas. Because we don't find roasting in other tea families. This is what makes oolong more complex than other tea families. Okay, let's pour. I'm not sure we have reached 6 minutes already, but the leaves have opened well. The brew has really changed color. Very interesting. Is it because of the light? I don't know. Something might have happened. Did I use more leaves than this afternoon? The color should be a bit lighter for the charcoal roasted than the competition Dongding. However, I don't get this. I did get it in my French and German classes, but tonight maybe I need to brew the competition a bit longer. It looks lighter. So this is also the what makes tea so fascinating. From one time to another, you get different results. So we did get a different result tonight on this tea. Might not have let it brew long enough, but let's see how it is. Okay, and now so even with the lighter color, in terms of scents, the roast scents are much more present in the competition Dongding than in the charcoal roasted, lightly roasted Yonglong Dongding Oolong. These are long names to get all the details. This one has a deep orange color. Fruity and flowery scents. Very smooth taste, whereas the Dongding, the competition Dongding, due to the roast, has a little bit more dry taste. And it has much darker aromas. Really, these roast aromas of like a bread that comes from the oven and is slightly burnt on the edges. This kind of smells. The color of the leaves are also very different. Look at the charcoal roasted. It's already very green, completely open. In the leaves, very smooth, very soft leaves, and very green. Whereas the Dongding competition, they are a little bit. Actually, they've opened up. That's good. And they are darker. And on the edges, they feel a little bit hard, slightly harder, even though they've opened up quite well. You can see the difference in color, dark for the Dongding competition and lighter for the Dongding area charcoal roast. So this really shows the difference in roasting. We barely can notice the roast on the charcoal roast. It has already mellowed down very well, assimilated in the by the tea. Whereas for the competition, since it's not yet 1 year old, we still have a lot of this fire scent in the mouth, in the taste when we drink this tea. Now, what is interesting with the latest winter charcoal roasted from Yonglong is that the roast is kind of in between these two. So we have more graduation to explore. This is what makes Oolong so complex and so interesting. The roast level can really be adjusted very gradually from light to strong, and in between there are still lots of different steps that can be achieved, and each gives a very particular character to the tea. And whereas it's very easy to roast something very strongly, it is much more skill to roast it to the point that it's quite dark, but that the leaves are still opening and still flexible so much. Okay, I hope that you are enjoying these two teas. I'm looking if you have any questions in the chat. Hello, Elizabeth. Thanks for joining. And I'm going to drink a little bit more of these two. So the fact that I was using 3 grams is a standard way of brewing, so that and this is actually the standard I've used for most of these classes. When you have seen this is not the best way of brewing. If you like your teas strong, you might use a little bit more leaves per session. But if you want to study tea, it's good to brew all the teas with the same amount of leaves, so that when you feel a difference in strength in the aroma, you will know it does not come from the fact that you it comes really from the leaves themselves, not from the fact that you have added more or fewer leaves in your gaiwan. So this is the idea, and like this, knowing how strong it is with 3 grams, you will know should you use more or less when you want to make a really very good cup of tea. Okay, let me see. Elizabeth writes, in general, does increased roasting make an oolong more mellow or digestive? Or are there just too many other variables to say, for example, variety, harvest season, age, etc.? And Talkie writes, I like your roasted Tieguanin. Now, which one? Because I have many. We have the sampler and we have the top roasted Tieguanin from 2018. Maybe that's this one. Now, to Elizabeth's question, some fresh teas like green teas and very lightly roasted or not roasted at all teas will feel sharper in the stomach, a little bit like a salad because they're not cooked. So a roast is like what the Chinese do to their greens, is like cooking them whether quickly and trying to retain the freshness at the same time. That's why they play on a quick fire. But the idea, this cooking helps to make the greens more digestive. And in theory, the more the better. Just when it's too strongly roasted, you will definitely change the aromas. Some like the stronger aromas, the more burnt aromas from the roast, but at the same time still you run to the risk of killing the liveliness of the tea. And this, you don't want to go to this point because then this kind of teas, they won't age anymore. They are fixed. They don't move. You can keep them 20 years. In 20 years, they will still have the same taste. So this is a little bit not proper management if you are using high quality leaves, I feel. But it's probably still more digestive, just it's less interesting for the taste. When you are aging them, you are able to make them a little bit more mellow by blurring some of these hard edges. So a mix of aging and roasting, I think, is what makes the tea the smoothest and most digestive. No, Tal writes 2018, is it similar to the roasted Dongding, this 2018 Tieguanin? I would say to some extent it's a bit similar. I would, to compare to this Dongding competition, I would say that the Tieguanin is even stronger roasted than this Dongding competition. It's even one level higher in terms of roast than this competition king from Dongding, because the leaves don't open up as much as here. We see the leaves open actually quite well. The Tieguanin 2018 does not open that much, but it has a very nice aroma nevertheless. Okay, thank you very much for your questions, for your interest, and we will see each other again in a month for the next set of classes. Enjoy these roasted oolongs now for the winter. They are the most suitable for this kind of cool weather because the fire from the roast brings also warmth to your body and to the mouth. So enjoy your tea, enjoy your oolong, and happy 2025. Bye bye.